First, from Spider-Man's love interest to the green lawns of Wimbledon, Kirsten Dunst has the world at her feet.
Coming up on Famous.
As my fans are growing up, I have to grow up, and we're all growing up together, and hopefully I'll be segueing into more adult movies.
Kirsten Dunst tells of childhood stardom and how she used her experience to make a smooth transition to adult roles, earning the respect of her peers along the way.
No, we'll punch in the kitten later.
You're gonna punch in a kitten later?
Yes.
In comes Kirsten, this little bright woman who will bust you on anything if you're phony.
She's so easy to work with. She's so warm and so open, and so she just has this effervescence to her that's very easily approached.
She's a talented actress. She was very experienced.
Kirsten works with some of the best in the business, and though still in her 20s, she's appeared in more than 20 films. According to Michael Spire, managing director of Variety, Kirsten's talent has impressed audiences from the start.
Kirsten Dunst, since childhood, has been wowing audiences. She's very beautiful. She's able to do many different things as expressed by her career path so far. She's finally come into her own with The Heroine in Spider-Man, which is the biggest film of all time if we go by weekend gross. She just has this quality of being likable and watchable, which is a very rare thing to have.
She was born Kirsten Caroline Dunst on the 30th of April 1982 in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. When Kirsten started getting film roles, her family moved west to Los Angeles. Her first job was a television commercial at 3. Kirsten's success in commercials led to her first major film role, Woody Allen's New York Stories. She was only 6, but from then on, Kirsten was busy.
I have some movies at home, and I'll look at the covers and I see like my face is mature as the movies go on, and it is kind of weird, but at least it's kind of like my kids can see what I look like at all my ages, you know? It's almost like my home videos or something.
Kirsten next worked with director Brian De Palma on Bonfire of the Vanities. In 1991, she appeared with Jim Carrey in the comedy High Strung, and then in 1994 co-starred with Kirk Douglas and Michael J. Fox in Greedy. But Kirsten's most memorable early role was Claudia in Anne Rice's Interview with a Vampire, directed by Neil Jordan.
I thought it was just so cool. It was a neat script and everything.
Even at the age of 11, Kirsten was an experienced actress, but the fact that Interview with a Vampire was a mature drama about sex, blood and vampires caused concern.
I didn't think it was gory one bit. I thought it was very tastefully done with the blood, because it's a vampire and you're going to see blood.
I remember having conversations with Neil in the beginning, and we were, Neil, how are we going to put some little child through this? I mean, you're dealing with things that little kids shouldn't be forced to think about. Then in comes Kirsten, this little bright woman who will bust you on anything if you're phony. I mean, she's a little woman, and couldn't have been any better. She tore it up.
It's all fake. I mean, it's a script. It's the movies. I mean, God, it's a script, and then you do it a million times, and then you see the movie, and it's so outrageous that people think this, but it's totally wrong. I'm not affected by this at all.
Kirsten wasn't even affected by her on-screen kiss with Brad Pitt.
I'm 12, and I was 11 at the time, and he's like 31. I don't know, he's Brad. He was Brad, and I don't want to kiss Brad. But Brad was a nice guy. Yeah, he was like my older brother on the set. He was great. He was so generous and nice.
No, believe me, I heard about it for weeks. I don't blame her, yes.
While she may have been too young to appreciate Brad's kiss, Kirsten understood the meaning of a box office hit. Interview with a Vampire made more than $100 million in the US.
I'm blessed. I've been lucky, especially since I've been able to do such good movies with such great people.
Kirsten was praised by critics and was nominated for a Golden Globe. She followed up Vampire with another period piece, Louisa May Alcott's Little Women. Kirsten plays the youngest, Amy.
I see her as a little fashion queen. She knows what she's doing. She's a little boss. She's a little cheeky. She's just she wants to be in the in crowd. She wants to go, you know, to the parties and everything. And she knows how to dress, how to act and everything, how to do her hair, you know, she knows. It's like she's the social queen.
Love and joy come to you and to you.
Kirsten Dunst, both with Little Women and Interview with the Vampire, they could be considered turning point in that they were very fine roles and she handled them very well. She was a very young child. Who knew what would become of her? But certainly people have followed her career since then. But Interview with the Vampire, she certainly took home a lot of notoriety for that. In fact, I think she took a Golden Globe nomination home.
Kirsten's next projects were more modern. In 1995's Jumanji, she stars opposite Robin Williams and Bonnie Hunt.
It was so exciting, and it was nice to work with Robin and Bonnie. It was a fun set. And Rob was so funny all the time. I was picked up on. He used to do all these impressions of, he used to do Ethel Merman, and he'd sing all these soft songs really, really loud. And then he did Nell going through the McDonald's drive-thru. That was so funny. He's the greatest.
Making Jumanji was physically taxing. The cast spent hours in the water to film this monsoon scene.
This monsoon, this was it was so hard. It took 2 weeks, and we were cold, and the wetsuits were itchy, and people found candy bars at the bottom of the water because I guess someone dropped in a candy bar or something. It's disgusting. And it's like crumbs were on the top of the water because people would eat it because they were so hungry. And it was cold in the morning, and it got too hot during the day, and it was just hard. We were swinging from chandeliers, and we did all our own stunts.
To promote Jumanji, Kirsten was on hand to donate one of the props to a Planet Hollywood restaurant in Los Angeles.
The Jumanji game board that was used in the monsoon scene, so it doesn't open up because in the water they didn't want it, opening up and ruining it. So, but this is the best one because it's the one we use the most.
Jumanji was an exciting production, but Kirsten knew if she didn't want to be a child actor for the rest of her career, her next choices would be critical.